One question that we receive often is what kinds of families or situations would benefit from our program. Most people understand what foster care is, but many struggle to see why a parent would be willing to voluntarily allow someone else to take on full-time care of their child. We want to share some real-life scenarios that we have come across and received phone calls for of families that would greatly benefit from the Restore Family program. For the sake of the individuals, we have used fake names when describing these scenarios. Jason is standing in front of the judge. He just got sentenced to court-ordered residential rehab, but explained to the judge that his 2 kids had nowhere to stay during that 6 months because his mom just finished caring for them and wouldn't be able to make that commitment a second time. The judge told Jason he either completed his rehab or risked jail. If he went to jail, his children would end up in foster care. Jason wanted to get better. He was ready to make a change for the sake of his kids, but he felt like he had no hope.
Amanda and Bob adopted an infant 4 years ago from Ethiopia. They love him and he's a wonderful boy, but he's been truly struggling to adjust in this new environment. It's brought a lot of stress on Amanda and Bob, and they don't have a community to lean on that supports them. In fact, their own family was against the adoption and now tell them it'd be best to just unadopt them altogether. Feeling hopeless, Amanda and Bob are considering disrupting the adoption, but they feel like maybe if they had some time to breathe, get some counseling, if their child can get some counseling, maybe if they had that support, then they can still make it work, because in their hearts, they truly love them. They need a break from parenting, but they have no one in their community that's willing to help.
Grandma Jane loves her granddaughter Rose. She was in charge of her care because her mama was involved in drugs and dating a drug dealer. Grandma knew her granddaughter would end up in the foster care system if she didn't step in. But Rose is becoming of school age and will need a lot more from Grandma than Grandma's able to offer. Grandma's only choice would be to require Mama to care for Rose, or Rose ending up in foster care.
Susie is an amazing mama to her tribe of 4 kids. She works hard at 2 different jobs. She doesn't really have much support or family around her other than that. She's constantly looking for daycare or babysitter, somebody that's able to come be with her kids at the house while she's at work so that they're not alone. Her oldest child is 12 years old, but she doesn't like the idea of her kids being at home alone for such long periods of time and so often. She's afraid for them, and she's also afraid that if somebody finds out, they might contact child services. She finds herself slipping deeper and deeper into these financial holes, trying to figure out how to get her family more established and in a better position. And she's afraid that if she doesn't get support with her kids, she might get her kids taken away from her by the state. If she could have just a moment to get back on her feet, and especially some mentors to come beside her, a community that can come to give her ideas and to mentor her into a better financial footing.
Ed and Maddie just found out that they will be evicted from their apartment. It has been a tough road for them and their 3 little children, but they have tried to make the atmosphere feel light and peaceful in their home. Ed is in between jobs and he isn't sure what to do. They need some time to get back on their feet. There are no shelters in their town that can house families, and they do not want to see their children living on the street or ending up in foster care.
Dad is in his 2nd year of a 3-year prison sentence. His cousin, who's graciously taken in his 2 young teens, is struggling to make ends meet. The boys, they can't stay there anymore. Dad knows there's very little he can do from prison, but he really doesn't want his boys growing up in the foster care system. He wishes there was a healthy, loving family that might be able to care for his kids while he finishes his sentence. He loves them so much. He regrets making the poor choices that have ended up in his jail time. And he's so eager to get out, to start life again, to be dad again, and this time to fight for his teens and to fight for their future as a family. He needs somebody to come beside him, to support them in this journey of restoration.
Amy is distraught. She is studying to become a nurse and has a 1.5 years to go. She just found out she is pregnant and with a guy who isn't interested in being a dad, nor does Amy want to be in a relationship with him. She does believe in choosing life, but doesn't know how she can finish her school year and bring a new life into the world. She goes to school out of state and doesn't think her parents will support her by taking on the care of the baby while she finishes school. She desperately wants to keep this baby, but doesn't know how she can manage with everything she already has. If she just had more time to finish school without taking on full-time care of the baby.
Hopefully you can see that the Restore Family program is much needed in our communities. These scenarios are only a few of many that, if left unsupported, could result in parents spiraling down a deep hole and the children left hurt from it. But together we can step in and prevent families from falling apart. But some of you will rebuild the deserted ruins of your cities. Then you will be known as the rebuilder of walls and the restorer of homes. Isaiah 58:12.